Wait, don't click off. I promise to provide you nothing but informative content in this presentation video. What doesn't work for longevity? That's what the topic of today is going to be. When you look at all the longevity research and articles and videos and content out there, it talks about what you shouldn't do, what you should take and what you shouldn't take. But the reality is, now that fasting and anti-aging and longevity has become a hot button topic, we can actually see what doesn't work. You can look at the longevity experts, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, Dr. Peter Attia, and see how they're talking about how muscle mass may be the single biggest predicator of all course mentality, of all the factors that could affect us as we get older. Muscle mass seems to be the biggest deterring factor. So to advise someone to go on a low protein diet in order to not activate muscle growth, not activate muscle protein synthesis, for me, doesn't seem to be the way to go. We know that as we get older, we become amino acid resistant. So you have muscle being essentially the organ of longevity. But now we know that the older people get, the less amino acids their body can use. You essentially need more to achieve the same effect that you have been getting 20, 30 years earlier. So to tell someone to not consume a high protein diet is essentially asking them to become a smaller version of themselves and still asking them to thrive. Now, I'm not suggesting that you have to be 260 pounds of ripped muscle. That's not what I'm telling you to be at all. What I am telling you to do, though, is you have to make sure that you base any diet you're on around quality, nutrient-dense protein. If you look at wild game meat, grass-fed meat, wild-caught fish, eggs, these are superfoods. These are multivitamins that are packed with nutrients that will support not only the aging systems in our body, but also help us maintain and build muscle mass, provided that's one of our training goals. But we know that muscle not only helps sustain our strength levels as we get older, but muscle also is a sponge for insulin. We know that long-term glucose control is a huge marker for thriving as we age and longevity. And there's no better way than to have muscle mass to soak up that glucose on top of a low carbohydrate diet, on top of exercise. So that's the first thing I think that longevity got wrong, is low protein diets. The second is concerning calories. Now again, I understand that calories do matter, but you have to look at the audience that you're speaking with. If I'm talking to bodybuilders or people that are getting ready for photo shoots, yes, our primary driver for those 12 or 16 weeks will absolutely be calories and continually adjusting them to achieve a desired effect. But for everybody else, for performance athletes, for people that want to thrive and have longevity, while calorie counts certainly matter, nutrient quality matters more. So let me explain. If you take a 7-day week, I prefer to view my calories for those 7 days in totality, as opposed to saying, I did these calories on Monday and these calories on Tuesday and these calories on Wednesday. Specifically, when you look at a lot of the time-restricted feeding or fasting research, low-protein, low-calorie diets were used in individuals that didn't necessarily have the most nutrient-dense diets to begin with. So if you focus on nutrient qualities, again, I talked about a grass-fed beef, wild-caught salmon, eggs, fermented cheeses, fermented dairy, vegetables, fruit, healthy fats, olive oil, avocados, all these food lists, if you focus on nutrient quality, that should be the first factor. Because again, with highly nutrient-dense food, with fibrous foods, your calories are going to be controlled in a way without you even thinking about it. Obviously, you know when too much is too much. So taking a 7-day view of calories, I find to be a better approach when you're considering nutrient quality. So if you want more of these informative videos, subscribe to the channel. I'll leave some relevant links down low. Have a good day.